What's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Wii remote. Oh, and if you want to build anything else that's even remotely like this, feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my various other tutorial playlists. I'll also include the consoles and controller playlist, which will include a lot of other builds which resemble this one. Xbox, PS, anything that you might want. Moving on, if you want to make it, here's what you're going to need. You will need some black wool, and grab yourself some dark grey wool, grab light grey, some white wool, red wool, and finally guys, grab yourself some cyan wool, and those are the only materials that you should be needing. So once you have each one of those, and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'll be making it right here, you're going to want to kick off your controller with this sequence of blocks coming directly up from the floor. So it'll look a little like this. Do 2 black wool, 1, 2, followed by 3 white wool, 1, 2, 3, then 3 light grey, 1, 2, 3, and that is what you want to have for the base row of your Wii remote. Now, once you have that taken care of, guys, this is what you want to do next. So, starting from this bottom light grey wall, this one that we have at the bottom of our row of 3, you want to do a bottom right diagonal from it with your light grey, like that. Then do an upright diagonal. Then a bottom right diagonal. Then do an upright diagonal, and go up on top of it by 2. 1, 2. You then want to take the second block and you want to go right of it by 1 with your white wool, 1 with your light grey, 1 with your white, 1 with your light grey. So you want to have this shape. Now, once you have this, you want to go underneath each one of these 2 single light greys with these sequence of blocks. Do 1 white wool underneath each of them, and then 2 light grey underneath the white. So that'll be 1, 2, 1, 2. So what you want to have written out there, guys, is Wii, which is written at the very bottom of the remote. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way up to the top right-hand side of your W, this block that we went right of not so long ago. Well, on top of this block right here, go up by 4 with your white wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. What you then want to do, guys, going left of these top 2 white wool, you want to do this. Do 1 white wool going left of each one of those 2 white wool. You then want to do 2 rows of 2 light grey, so that'll be 1, 2, then 3 rows of 2 white wool, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, followed by 2 rows of 2 cyan, 1, 2. So you want to have something which should look like this. Once you've done that on the left hand side, you now want to come to the right hand side of these 2 white walls, and you want to do this. First of all, do 1 row of 2 white wool, then do 2 rows of 2 light grey, 1, 2, then continuing to go right, do 3 rows of 2 white wool, that's 1, 2, 3, then finish this off by doing 2 rows of 2 light grey, that's 1 and 2, like that. And what you'll end up with, guys, should look a little bit like this. And you guys might not recognize this now, but each one of those lights, it's kind of like how many players are in a game. You guys know that, or how many remotes are activated. I'm sure you guys know that anyway. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So, can you guys see the same line that we have right here, like where we have the right hand side of our W and where we started to build on top it? Well, we want to continue going up in the same row. So on top of this middle white block that we have right here, and continuing to go up, we want to do a row of 3 white wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, like that. Then place a black wool on top of that 3rd white wool. You then want to go left of this black with your black by 2, 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal. Then go on top of that diagonal by 4, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an upper right diagonal. Then go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and go left by 1 to give you this shape, and this is just one of the buttons. 2 buttons at the base of the remote, 1 and 2. That's what this is. This is actually number 2. And whilst we're here, guys, this is what you want to fill your button in with. You want to do 3 light grey at the base of your button, stick a light grey on top of that middle light grey, then do an upright diagonal from it, go up by 1, do an up left diagonal, go left by 1, then do a bottom left diagonal to give you this shape. Well, that is when we didn't want to go left of that. Whoops, my bad. That's why I don't usually explain these things. I make sure I've got them right first. But that is what you want to have for the inside of that button. 3 light grey, 1 on top of the middle, up right diagonal, 1 on top, up left diagonal, bottom left diagonal, and that will be the number 2, or as close as you can possibly come to it in such a small space. What you then want to do, guys, is just fill the rest of that button in with white wool. And I would usually leave these things until later, but hey, why not do them whilst we're actually at the relevant point in the tutorial? So once you've got that taken care of, we now want to do the button that's directly above it, so button number 1. So on top of this top row of your button, this row of 5 black wool, stack 3 rows of 5 white wool. That'll be 1, 2, 3 rows of 5 white wool on top of your button like that. Then cap that off by doing a row of 5 black wool on top of that row of 5 white wool like that. You then want to, starting from the left hand side of this row of 5 black wool, do an up left diagonal. Then go up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do an up right diagonal. Go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a bottom right diagonal. And go down by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, 4, there we go. And then everything should connect together. What do you want to do next, guys? Well, now we want to add the 1 into the middle of the button. So take out your light grey wool, place 3 light grey at the bottom center of the button. Take the middle block and extend it all the way up to the top of the button like that. Then take the first block coming down in that row and just extend it to the left by 1 to give you, there you go, a 1 shape with your light grey. Then fill the rest of that area in with white wool. So you'll just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this, and bam, that is 1 and 2. Perfect. Now, once you've got those taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So come to the top middle section of the button. It's easy to find because, I mean, we've kind of been keeping the middle line of this controller, we've kind of been keeping it apparent all the way throughout this tutorial. So continuing up from this middle block that we have right here, we want to do a row of 4 white wool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to move the black wool and the white wool closer together, otherwise I'm going to get irritated. After the row of 4 white wool, you then want to do a black wool, then a white wool, then a black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black. And what you'll end up with, guys, should look a little bit like this, and that's exactly what you want to have, and that's just part of the speaker that's on the controller. Now, once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do to each one of those black walls that we have. So not only do you want to go left of each one of these black walls by 2 of your white and 1 with your black, but you also want to go right of each one of these black walls by 2 with your white, 1 with your black, and like I said, that's to each of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do all of the white wool first on the right hand side, and then I'm going to add all of the black, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the left hand side now. So I'm just going to add all of the white, and then I'm going to add all of the black, and that will be the speakery majiggy-maboo that is on the controller. So we'll just add in all of this black wool in, and bam, there we go. Looks kind of weird. It kind of looks like an antenna at this point, but that's exactly what it wants to look like. Once you've reached this point right here, guys, this is what you want to do next. So now come all the way up to the top center of what you've made. So on top of this center top black wool. So go up on top of the center black wool by 5 with your white. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You then want to place a black wool on top. What you then want to do is go left of that black wool by 1. Then do an up left diagonal. Then place 2 on top, 1, 2. Then do an upright diagonal, go right by 2, 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 2, 1, 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal, and that will give us yet another one of our buttons. And this is actually going to be the home button. The way that this is going to look, starting from the bottom, 2 rows of cyan wool, 1 on top of those 2 middle rows, white wool either side, and I believe that that is the home button. Left and right of this we're going to have volume control, so on the left minus, on the right plus. The way that we're going to do this is we're just going to do 3 rows of white wool stemming from each side of the 3 middle blocks of this button, so that'll look like 1, 2, 3. Then we'll do a row of black wool, and then starting from the bottom of our row of 3 black wool, we do a bottom left diagonal, left by 2, up left diagonal, up by 2, up right diagonal, right by 2, and then we've connected back to where we first started. And the way that we'll do this button, white wool, top, bottom row, and then light grey wall right in the center to give you something which should look like this, and that just shows you everything all together, doesn't it? Now, once you've done that on the left, we now want to do a very similar thing on the right, except it's going to be a plus instead of a minus. So, on the right hand side here, we want to take out our white wall, and do 1, 2, 3 rows, 3 rows of white, then 1 row of black. Starting from this bottom black wall, we do a bottom right diagonal, we go right by 2, 1, 2, then an up right diagonal, up by 2, 1, 2, then an up left diagonal, left by 2, 1, 2, to give us the outer shape of the button. We then want to take out our light grey wall, do a horizontal row and vertical row, and vertical. My grammar is going straight out the window. Do a horizontal row and a vertical row right in the center of that button, and then do a white wall all the way around that light grey plus shape. And you'll end up with row 3 buttons that looks like this. Home, minus, plus. Once you've got each one of those taken care of, guys, this is what you want to do next. So come to the top center of the button, which is this block right here. It's where we have this cyan wall. It's almost as if this is pointing us upwards. On top of this black wall block, stack a row of 11 white walls. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then place a black wall on top of that 11th block. Then go left of that black wall by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then do 2 up left diagonals. That's 1, 2. Then go up by 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do 2 up right diagonals. That's 1, 2. Then go right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do 2 bottom right diagonals. That's 1, 2. Then go down by 6, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then do 2 bottom left diagonals, that's 1 and 2. Go left of that second bottom left diagonal until you connect all the way back to where you first started. So you want to end up with a shape that should look like this. And this is the outline of our A button. Or is it? This is what we're going to do next. Take out your black wall, or keep out your black wall, and kind of just reinforce the inside of that button. So you kind of want to go all the way around it, and you also want to emulate the corner blocks as well. So once you've went like all the way around the inside, it will be squarish like this, and by emulate the corners, I mean just throw a single black wall in each one of those corners. So just kind of like double up on all of the blocks, just to kind of make it look like a bit more of a circular shape. It looks like a plus. Once you've done that, you now want to take out your dark grey wall, place a dark grey wall underneath the top center block like that, then do 2 bottom left diagonals from each end of that center block. So that'll be 1, 2, then 1, 2, then extend down each one of those second bottom diagonals, I guess kind of covers it, and reach the bottom of the button like that. You then want to take the middle block in the rows that you've just made, and you just want to connect them horizontally to form an A shape, like so. And once you've done that, guys, you can then just proceed to fill in the rest of the button in with light grey wool. And that will be that. So we're just getting this done, and then we can move on to the next bit. So once you've got your A, you've done the outline, you've filled it in with light grey, that's the A button complete. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, this is what you want to do next. So now take out your old pal white wool. We've not seen that much of it, have we? No, definitely not. Well, come up to the top center of your A button, and on top of the top center block, which is this one right here, as you guys can clearly see, go up on top of it by 4 with your white wool. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Then do a black wool. Go left of that black wall by 2, 1, 2. Then up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then down by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Down by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then down by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then left by 1 to connect everything back together and form a nice plus shape like this. What do we want to do next? You guys are probably wondering to yourselves. Well, take out your white wool and go all the way around the inside of that plus shape. So just kind of copying the shape that you have on the out hand side, you just want to go all the way around the inside of your plus shape with your white wool. So I'm doing a very poor job of this, but you guys can kind of see what I'm getting at. We just want to go all the way around the inside of this thing with the white wool, like so. Bam. What you then want to do is take out your light grey wool and do 4 rows of 3 light grey, starting from each of the end bits of this big giant plus shape. It'll look like this. It's kind of 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's 4. It's a row of 4. Never mind. No, it's not. I was wrong. So 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3, if you guys can see what we have there. And then we just want to fill the center part of this in with white wool. And those are just rows of 3. I thought they were 4 for just a second there, but I'm not sure why. They're 4 rows of 3, and that is of course the directional pad on your Wii remote. Now, once you've got that taken care of, guys, this is what you want to do next. Don't worry, this is coming to an end. Come all the way up to the top left-hand corner of your big giant plus shape, the D-pad. On top of this top left-hand corner block, that's right, we're completely getting rid of the center block this time. On top of this left-hand corner block, do a row of 7 white wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go left by 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go left by 3 with your black. 1, 2, 3. Then do an up left diagonal. And go up by 2. 1, 2. Then an up right diagonal. Right by 2, 1, 2. Then do a bottom right diagonal, and go down by 2, 1, 2. What you then want to do, guys, is with your red wool, you kind of want to form this shape, and you know what, this shape's a little bit weird, so I'm just going to do it and then show you guys how it looks, and you guys might recognize this. This is kind of like the on-off. That's exactly what that is, that's the on-off button. Once you've got that taken care of, guys, this is what you want to do next. I'm sure that it won't take you very long to take care of that. 1 second, 2 seconds. There we go, that's probably enough time. So now come up to this top left-hand-ish side of the button that you've just made. On top of this black wool block, kind of this empty space right here, you want to do a row of 3 white wool. That'll be 1, 2, 3. Then do a black wool. Go left of that black wool by 2. 1, 2. But go right of that black wool by 24. That is 2, 4, 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Or at least, I hope it's that. It very much seems like it. There's a way to check later on. But once you have your row of 24 and your row of 2, this is what you want to do next, guys. So it's actually quite easy from here. What you now want to do is come all the way over to the left-hand side where we have this row of 2. Drag this second block all the way down to the ground. Just drag it all the way down to the ground until it eventually hits the floor. So it'll take a little while because this thing is actually quite tall. It's quite big. But what you want to do, guys, is you don't want this block to touch the ground. You want it to be 1 block off of the ground. And once you are 1 block off the ground, so just to show you, we have a red wool there instead. Once it's 1 block away from the ground, you want to do a bottom right diagonal from it. Then go right of that diagonal until you connect all the way back to where you first started, ever so slightly earlier. So you want to have this. And I could keep zooming out, but what we're now going to do, guys, is we're now going to come all the way up to the top of our remote again. And this time we're going to come to the 24th block. So once you're all the way back up to this 24th block, what you then want to do, guys, is drag this all the way down to the ground, except you guys know, as we did this on the left-hand side as well, it doesn't want to touch the ground, it simply wants to be 1 block away from the ground, and we're almost there we go, so it just wants to be 1 block away from the ground. We'll throw the red there instead. From this block that doesn't touch the floor, do a bottom left diagonal from it, drag it all the way over to the left-hand side to where we first started, and we should end up with a shape that looks very remote-like. I'm not going to show you what this looks like in full just yet because we do have a couple more things to do. So what we now want to do, guys, on the left hand side, the right hand side, and at the very top of the remote, we want to add 3 rows of black wool. Now these 3 rows of black wool simply want to be 1 block lesser at the tops and the bottom, or the left and the right in the case of the top of the remote. They want to be 1 block less on each end than the rows that they are on the outside of. So on the left hand side you see that we stop 1 block shy of the top. On the top here we start 1 block shy of the left hand side, and when we get to the right hand side we will leave 1 block remaining there. And then when we get to the right hand side here, we'll start one block down, and we will stop one block away from the end of the row. And I'm sure that you guys can see why. It will give it a bit of a better shape, it will make it look a little bit circular, because the Wii Remote, as you know, is a little bit curved. So let me just show you guys how this thing wants to look. There we go. I was just making sure that... Oh, that's right. We do have another row to add. I forgot about this, guys. I was wondering why it looks a little bit weird. We also have another one to add. So right at the very base of our Wii Remote, we just want to add a layer of black wool. So right at the very base of the Wii Remote, you just want to add a layer of black. So you want to add 4 rows in total, and I wasn't sure actually before I just took a look at it there whether or not we had to do that. So this is what you want to end up with, guys. As you can see, it's quite big, isn't it? That's the Wii Remote, or at least that's the outline of it. What we now have to do, guys, and I would usually do this on recording, but honestly, it is just so big that I'm not going to hang in there with you guys. I'm going to show you guys the previous one. So this is the base of it done. That is all of the details added. Let me go back into my other world. Let me show you guys the original version of this, because like I said, this is too big to fill in on recording. So I'll be back in just a moment, and I'll show you guys what it should look like once you've completely filled this thing in. Alright guys, so this is the original version of my Wii Remote, and as you guys may be able to notice, the only difference between this and the one that you guys hopefully have on your screen right now is that I have added white to it everywhere inside the remote. That is literally the only difference, and that's what you guys all have to do to achieve this one right here. Or, alternatively, and I was thinking about this just a second ago, you don't have to have the Wii Remote in white if you don't want to. You could have whatever colour you wanted to pick out. You could have red, blue, gold, glowstone, whatever you wanted. I would definitely suggest... I'd definitely suggest nailing one down, though. Like, I wouldn't, like, fill it in and then, like, rip out all of the colour and keep doing that, because it will take an incredible amount of time to fill in. I mean, not an incredible amount of time, probably less than 10 minutes, but it'll take you guys a while. So, that's the only difference, guys. Fill it in with whatever material you want, whatever colour, and that will be that. So, hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully you've managed to make it, and if you've managed to do both of those things, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out, guys. I would just vastly appreciate, as I always do. It only inspires me to make more of your guys' suggestions, and that will be that. So if you guys could give this video a like, a favourite, a share, anything like that, I would really appreciate it, guys. Comment down below, what do you want to see me make next? I think I'm going to make some more Nintendo related stuff. Like I might make the Nintendo logo. I think I'm going to make the Wii U controller, like that big giant tablet thing. I think I'm actually going to do that next. That probably won't be too difficult, and I'm not sure beyond that with Nintendo, but those two are definitely on my mind. Feel free to check out the card system and the links below down in the description for my various other tutorial playlists, including my consoles and controllers playlist, which features a lot of things like this. If you like this, odds are you'll find a lot of other things that you'd like in those two playlists. So like, favorite, share if you wouldn't mind, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.